And welcome back to BigBobsMTG. I'm Big Bob, and today we have Teferi's BBC. If you know what BBC is, good on ya. Don't Google search it. So, we're starting out today with Karuga, the Macro Sage. This guy allows us to draw an insane amount of cards. Now, this is a mill deck. This mill deck is here to make things really painful for people. So, we have 3 Midnight Clock for Teferi's tutelage, and this is the BBC of Teferi. This tutelage works very well with Valakut Awakening, especially if those decks have more than the 60 card minimum requirement. Now, why does it work so well? It's because it doesn't actually discard these cards. They go to the bottom of your library instead. So you can keep spitting them out and spitting them out and spitting them out. Midnight Clock is then going to refresh your graveyard, pull all your Valakut Awakenings back inside of them, and then you can recast them by keep spitting them out, spitting them out. Now, what helps with this is we have Valakut Exploration. Every time we play a land, we get an extra chance to play something else. Shatter the Sky, 4 of those babies because we want to clear everything. Teferi's Ageless Insight to help us draw more cards. Storm's Wrath, 3 Songs of Creation. Now this is another thing that really helps us bind this together. So whenever we play a spell, we get to draw 2 cards. If we have Ageless Insight in play, we draw 4 cards. If we play something like Valakut Awakening, because we played that, we get to draw those 2 or 4 cards first. Then we get to discard as many as we want, or put as many on the bottom of our library. I misspoke. So that allows us to redraw more cards. And with Teferi's Ageless Insight, you don't just draw that many +1, you draw twice as many +2. Very, very powerful. So, Elspeth Conquers Death allows us to get rid of the big baddies that we don't want in play, like our Auspicious Starixes and everything else. Double Vision helps us cast things like Valakut Awakening twice and spin up more cards and more Teferi's Ageless Insight. Realm Cloak Giant helps us wipe the board a bit more, as well as the Undo Inversion if things are just going terribly bad. It also is a good thing to have a little bit of extra mana in this thing. Now, I found out that we do have our normal 24 mana in here. We're always able to typically run some type of board wipe by getting 2 mountain, 2 plains, and then work from there. Our Ketria Triome and our Raugrin Triome allow us to have those 2 white or 2 red pretty much all the time. I only get these guys, from what I could tell, you get 1 or 2 of them, and then late game you get a whole bunch of them, which works fine because then you can also draw another card. And with Teferi's Ageless Insight, it does work. You draw 2 cards and discard this card. So, yeah, that's about it. Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes down below in the comments, and let's give this a try. Let's get to the games. Alright, well, once again, thanks for joining me once again. I'm just going to be narrating over the games that I recorded. My family's been cleaning in the background, so it's been a little bit noisy, but we got it going on right now. We're going to keep this hand. It has all the mana and colors that we could need. Alright, so we're going to start off with white mana. That Undo Inversion looks pretty good, so we're going to go with that. Taking a few licks, but that's alright. Once we get out our appropriate lands, we'll be able to clear the board and not have to worry about all the crap that he's putting out into play. Alright. We're going to go ahead and toss this Undo Inversion into play tapped because we don't need anything to be played right now. Ah, there's an Elder Gargaroth. That's a problem, so we need to clear that out. So let's go ahead and toss down our final plains for us to clear it out with Shatter the Sky. He does draw a card, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, we have a red mana, which I should have played my Valakut, but I didn't. So we're just going to play this one now and let him take his turn. Alright, another Shadow of the Sky. That'll be good to keep up in case he decides to do anything crazy next turn. And we can clear it out. Alright, let's tap this guy down. And that, so we can deal him 2 damage. Needed the blue mana, which is a little bit of a bummer, but not required at this point in time. Ah, big bad thorn mammoth. I don't like that too much, so we're going to clear that out right away. He's going to draw another card, but as long as we can keep up, we should be good to go. Now, do I play this for land? No, I don't. I don't need the land at this time. I have enough to clear out, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, some little tiny things I think we're just going to sit on top of. We shouldn't need to worry about this too much. I'm going to go ahead and cast this to do a hand refresh. We don't need any of this stuff. We need some of the stuff that is going to get us into a better position. Well, this doesn't help at all, but it at least allows us to diversify our mana a bit. Okay. I can't cast the Realgrim Triome with cycling because that's an ability from your hand. You have to cast it from your hand. Alright, Nessian Horn Beetle. Don't really care about that at all. Alright, another Valakut. Okay. We'll throw that guy down. Then we'll toss our land into play. Now we have 5 total available. Ooh, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and cast this guy first. Then we're going to cast our Teferi's Tutelage. Draw and discard. Discard of planes. We don't really need that right now. He mills 2. He takes 1. And then we're good to go. Now with a full mono green, I'm not too worried about what's coming up. I don't see any problems. Let's see here. He's going to mill some more. We're going to play our blue land, which we have 3 more cards to play, which will be wonderful. That clock looks pretty tasty after we put down the Ageless Insight and the Teferi's Tutelage. Boop, boop. All right. Put this guy into the graveyard. He can now mill 8 cards. Alright, now Valakut Awakening. This is where it gets interesting. I'm going to go 2 there. And draw 6 cards. Well, that's 12 mil right there. 12 mil times 2 is 24, so that's 24 cards down. So all in all, if he can't do something big and powerful and kill me off with 15 life, this is game over. This is the game ending point right here. 6 mana left, so now he can take 3 damage from those 3 cards that I didn't play. So now we wait for him to play whatever he's going to. Oh, that's it. Good game. Give him a little kissy face because he knows he's beat. He can't do anything about it. Put another counter on there. Alright, he's going to mill 2 more cards. 2 more cards, and then that's it. Game, match, set. Now this we're going to speed up a little bit because it wasn't like a glorious win. It was just a win, so I thought I'd explain it as it goes, but it's going to be quick. Throw away the one thing that we couldn't play immediately. Alright. Got our 2 planes down. Playing down our Valakut Exploration. Now we can start doing some fun stuff. Get our Macro Sage into our hand. Alright, he's going to play that, which I don't really like. So, we're going to play that, and then we're going to exile it to get rid of it entirely. Otherwise, when I wipe the board, it would have allowed his other guys to just come back, and I don't really like that either. Okay. Play down this. Valakut Exploration. Another Elspeth Conquers Death. So we're definitely doing that one. Getting rid of this guy who can kill us. And then he sits. And we sit. And we draw lots of cards. All right. We're going to wait for next turn. Okay, great. Let's play our clock down. Then we're going to play this guy. We're going to discard our hand because we don't need a whole lot except for the 2 wipe cards, which now we have 3 wipe cards. Attacking in, dealing him 5. Dealing him 1 more from there. And we start counting with our clock. He destroys all giants, which is fine with me. Give him a little cryy face. All right, next time. Here we go. Cool. Teferi's tutelage. All right. He plays his little Arcanist Owl, which I don't really care about. I'm just going to exile it next turn. Teferi's tutelage making a mill now. Okay, now, what do we play? I think I'm going to throw down that Ragrim Triome. Yep, that seems like the good play. Alright, so now we go like this. Take care of the owl. Keep pinging him. Alright, he plays this big guy. Do I really care about the big guy? Not so much. Alright, Midnight Clock. Alright. Play that down. We're going to wipe the board and then play this. And then pay for more counters on our one with lots of counters. And this is game over. Now that I have 2 clocks in play that look like they're going pretty well, now our Macro Sage comes into play. Give him a +1 counter and he draws 4. Well, that 4 equals 8 cards in his graveyard. Now we're going to play Song of Creation. And then we're going to... let's see, what should we do here? Play our Valakut Exploration. Draw 2 more cards. Then we'll play a Teferi's Tutelage. Draw 2 more cards. Draw and discard. We'll discard this Plains over here. Put down that. Valakut Exploration comes into play. We're going to put our island into play. Get 2 more cards. Valakut Awakening. So now it's going to cure that itch. Kill that deck off. Alright, so we have what we want. Let's see, we have to discard everything anyway, so we might as well get a whole new hand. Mill him as much as we possibly can. That 16 triggers equals more than 32. He has no deck left. Valakut Awakening would deal him damage, but now he's dead. Also, this next game allows us to see exactly how fast this mill can go sometimes. When people realize what's happening, they're done. So this was sped up 5 times as fast. I was reading this card and he quit. Alright, this is another really quick game. This is a victory, so I played probably 12 or 13 games in a row, so this is just a few of the victories. I think I had about 10 victories out of 12. But this deck was actually one of the decks that I kept playing over and over again, this enchantment-style deck. So we're going to blow the board up. Keep going. Oh, I remember this game. Okay, so this game is actually put in here. This was one of my losses, and I lost because of myself. I messed up and failed to keep in mind that I need to watch my cards in my deck. Without being able to watch the cards in my deck, I screwed myself and burned myself into a loss. So, I have everything going on. Everything seems to be going right. I seem to be collecting lots of cards, playing lots of things. Everything seems to be going well, but here we go. Alright, so he got some pretty biggies out there. I'm going to wipe the board, draw cards, play. Play this guy. Alright, drawing tons of cards. And then I failed to remember that I ran out of cards, played and drew and died. So that is not fun. So this game went much better. I sped it up because it wasn't that adventurous and didn't need much explanation. Just kind of go through the process, getting down our ramp in our ability. Now, I see that he has Cure Best of Sea Gods, and I keep that in mind so I can react to it. Now, here we go. I'm going to clear the board. He has 5 mana now. Lots of Birth of Melodices. Seems to be a very normal thing for Birth of Melodis to show up 1,000 times. Especially for this guy. Although I can't say much more for my clocks here. So we have now our double vision. Alright. Get to blast everybody to death. Alright, he brings back his Arcanist Owl. Plays his land, plays his guy that gains him life when he plays creatures. Plays this guy and takes away my other clock. So, now we're going to destroy everything. Cure Best of Sea God comes into play. Now, I need to react to this, so I destroy everything. I then... I play down my Valakut, and then I play my Valakut Awakening. Now, Valakut Awakening allows me to draw more cards, especially because I have Teferi's Ageless Insight. Now I discard a whole bunch of cards. He's going to gain control of my Valakut for some reason. I would take the double vision, but, you know, it's not my thing. So I'm going to take Elspeth Conquers Death and not worry about his Elspeth. He can produce these little 1/1 creatures. I don't care. Get rid of that. Pull my clock back out of exile. Teferi's Ageless Insight. Okay. Oh, Teferi's tutelage. That's what it was. The BBC of TFC. Teferi. So there we go. All right. We're going to go and blow the board up. All right. Now we're going to go play this down. Alright, now he keeps spitting out creatures that are problematic, but that's fine with me. Alright, now we have 2 double visions, Valakut Awakening twice, and he knows what's coming. Alright, so here's a couple games that I left in here at normal speed so we can cover some ground and maybe a little bit of finer tuned explanation. So this hand looks pretty decent. We can keep the Valakut Awakenings and the planes in order to cast all of our board wipes. Now, we're going to be suffering with Teferi's Ageless Insight because it's double blue and we don't have a single blue mana source. That's okay, we can keep going from there. Alright, fighting the green deck. Putting down our first Valakut land. We use Valakut Awakening's DFC in order to play that. So here we go with 2 of those guys. Realgrim Triome. We're going to play this, and then we're going to play this. We're going to throw away some of the things that we don't need and we can't play. So we have 3 cards, draw 4 for 3 mana. Not too bad. We finally have our Realgrim Triome, which should allow us to cast something that we can use. So I would assume that I'm going to play the Valakut Exploration, and then the Realgrim Triome, and then go from there. Vastwood Surge. He has lots of mana, but only one card in hand. I don't know what he's thinking. So, there's Valakut Exploration. Play down the Rogrim Triome. Pop in that Plains. Deal him 1 damage. That's all fine and dandy. So he has 1 card in hand and 7 mana. Auspicious Starix coming into play. Exiling that, becoming another land. That's whatever. I give him little crying tears. Oh no, he's gonna kill my guy. No, don't do it. Ow. How could you, bully? Alright. Well, we have this, so we might as well... yeah, I think blowing him up would be the best option here. Get rid of that so he can't do anything. Now he's going to draw a card. I have another Shadow of the Sky. Okay. Gigantosaurus. Hello, how are you? What's your name? What's your number? Oh yeah, you're dead. So bye. 10 lands total and an Elysian Caryatid. Now I don't really care to cast anything else. We want to set up. So we're going to go ahead and set up. Teferi's Tutelage. Oh, what should I throw away? I don't know. I think we're going to throw away the Song of Creation. I don't think we need that. Yep. Exactly what we need to throw away. Mill him 2. Deal him 1. Continue on. Okay, land. He's going to deal me 1 damage. Great. Okay. Well, now we have enough land to cast a few things. So let's go ahead, cast our Midnight Clock. Put our land down. We have 4 mana at our disposal, but yeah. There we go. That guy. Draw a card. Discarding. Well, yeah, this undo inversion doesn't need to be there. Get to mill a couple more times. Exploration pops off and hits him for another 1. Ooh, another Elysian Caryatid. Okay. Alright, so let's continue to set up. We're going to set up by using Double Vision. Beanstalk Giant, putting another land into play, and then smashing into the battleground. Alright, so this is a portion where the short-term gain equals a win. If I would have killed the 2 Elysian Caryatids, I would not have won. So I think about it, and I'm like, wait, that's not enough damage. I need to get rid of Mr. 12-12, kill me in 1 shot. Exile him, casting this to pull my Macrosage into my hand. Alright, so 2 damage I can take, 12 I cannot. So what else does he have? Reclaim the Wastes. 2 more lands into his hand. He's probably going to attack me once again and deal me 2 more damage, down to 6. Okay. So let's go ahead and mill him more. And let's get a big bad boss in play, huh? So let's play this to pull that. Then we should, yes, we should definitely pull this. And play this, which when we draw 2 cards. Teferi's Tutelage then mills him 4 times, equaling 8 more cards. And now we get to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more cards. 7 more cards times 2 Teferi's Tutelages means we mill him 14 times. And he gives up. Great game. Okay, playing one more time against the Saber Wolf. Saber Wolf is tier 1 gold member. Let's see here. Waiting for him to go. All right, we're going first, so let's do it. Got our Trigrome first and foremost. Make sure that our mana base is as wide as possible. Now he has mono red, which is a little bit concerning, but not too bad. Onto inversion. Do I want it? Do I need it? Yes, I think I need the secondary white land. Being that I don't require anything until 3, I can play it down tapped and have no impact. Alright, so let's cast this. It's continuing to ramp because it allows us to tap a blue, as well as it starts collecting counters for our Teferi's tutelage. Alright, 2 Teferi's tutelage. We put this down. Second clock. Make sure that he knows he's double screwed. And then we cast our Teferi's tutelage because that clock gave us an extra mana to play more than we could previously. Well, we have 2 red, so I don't think we need this red mana. Let it go. Make him discard and mill. Alright. Sweet cookies. So he has 4 red mana and he still can't play anything, so I'm really confused what he is doing. I am not sure. So we're milling him more and more. Here's Teferi's tutelage once again. Whee! Alright, there's that. I guess we'll get rid of one of these. Mill him another 4 cards. And then let's pull our Macro Sage into our hand. He has 4 mana total in a mono red deck so far. I have not seen anything that he could do to make this work so far. So he keeps passing. He's got 5 red mana. Like, what is he waiting for? Another color? Maybe he's red-white or red-green. But I haven't seen any non-red cards milled off the top of his deck, so who knows what's going on. Alright. I think I can make it more painful by doing the other one first, but there we go. Drawing some extra cards. Milling this guy to death. And he quits. Well, that works. It was game over anyways. He wasn't even doing anything. Teferi's BBC. Let's give this one more shot. See if we can have some amazing game that will absolutely break and have fun with the combo inside this deck. Alright, we're going to keep this hand, and he plays Fabled Passage right off the top. That's a little bit telling. Telling me that he doesn't have what he needs. Gonna cast our Rod Rim Triome here, because crystals and spires are always a fun time. Waiting for this guy to go. I don't know what he's doing, but... Alright, so now he's got green and white with a Birth of Melodus. Very common thing to have in green and white. I assume this is green and white enchantments. Alright, I think we can cast this Yondu Inversion. Flips down to add our land. We don't need to cast anything right now, so here we go. Birth of Melodus, that's a second one for sure. Gets himself another Plains. We're just going to cast a Midnight Clock. You can't attack with 0/4 wall. Gains himself 2 life. Gives himself another wall. Making sure those walls stop. A third Birth of Melodus. Alright. Alright, we're going to give him a nice on that one. Alright, let's cast our red here. Yeah, I don't really know what else to cast. We're going to just put our Valakut Exploration down. We're not really too worried. He's setting up just as much as we are. Not too worried about what he's going to play at this point with 5 mana. Oh, Vivian. That's a pretty good one. Alright.
This is my paradise.
So give him another nice on that.
Every day is a
But it is in vain. We're going to put down our planes and then exile that thing away from me and away from the game.
I aimed too high.
Okay. All 3 Birth of Melodus have spent themselves completely. He now has 6 mana at his disposal. I'll be curious to see what he plays. Plays the Charming Prince. That's an interesting thing to play. Didn't really see that coming. I mean, okay. He's going to scry 2. See if he needs any of those. No, he does not. He throws both on the bottom. Well, he's still setting up, and so are we. So let's see what we can do from here. Well, let's see. Now everything costs more. We're going to actually put this mountain into play. Draw that. We could have used that, but don't really care about it. Wipe the board before he gets something that's 4 cost or more. And then let's cast our Valakut Awakening. Discard these 2 cards, don't really need them. And then draw 3. There we go. So now I would anticipate him playing something that can... Yep, there you go. Something that can remove my clock. He doesn't remove my clock. That is surprising. I am very surprised by that. Okay, we can cast this. Teferi's Age of the Insight. Then the Macro Sage. Okay, my clock now has 9 counters on it. Which is very close to popping and giving me lots and lots of really yummy goodies. Alright. Well, I don't really have anything else but this to play, so we're going to go like that. Draw ourselves 6 cards. And then, I'm going to play this land down. And then, yeah, put another counter on there. Throw this and this and this away. Oh, only needed 2. So we'll undo this one. This one right here. There we go. That's 12. Perfect. Alright, he comes into play and scries 2. Which is fine. I don't really care if he scries. He can scry as much as he wants. Alright, Glass Pool Mystic coming into play as the cleansing, or I'm sorry, the Charming Prince. Glass Pool Mystic's one of my favorite cards. I like that card a lot. Okay, so that's done. Thos of the Deep Dwelling is going to bounce out of play the Charming Prince and bring it back into play, which he's going to scry 2 again. Yep, scrying 2 again. Cool. He gets to see all the cards that go to the bottom of his deck. Great. Alright, so we cast Teferi. Draw 2, discard 1. We're going to discard that guy. He's going to mill twice. Perfect. Then we're going to cast this guy, take care of the Thassa. Goodbye, Thassa. You are not wanted. Alright, we're going to cast this Trio down because why not have a much more broad mana base? No attack, so we can guard ourselves a bit. We don't want to take any undue damage. 6 cards need to go away. We'll discard a lot of these lands here because we don't really need them. And that Trio. Yep. And that. Alright. So if he is unable to take care of my Teferi, it's kind of game over because there's nothing that I really have to worry about. Okay, Valakut would be good to play, but I think I'm going to cast this first because then that Valakut can be even more useful. Now see, I cast it, I draw 2, which with Teferi's Ageless Insight equals 4, which means I mill him 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8, so then we get rid of everything. Bye. Everything goes to the bottom of my library, and I draw 10 cards, which means I draw 20 cards, which means we are the winners. There's nothing and no way he can come back from this. Goodbye. Nice knowing ya. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys are happy, healthy, safe, and keeping alive out there. Thank you very much.